How are you, Lakshmanan? How is Coimbatore?
Sir, I'm doing great, sir. Vanakkam, sir. Coimbatore, it's wonderful, sir. Climate, June time,
very nice.
Going wonderful.
Good.
How are you doing, sir?
Great, Kana. Great. We'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes. Student will join.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dhanalakshmi, welcome. Radha Krishnan, welcome. Yes. Sai, good evening. Nikhil, Sabitha, welcome. Ravi Kumar, welcome. Devadarshini, how are you? Sveta, welcome. Jennifer, good evening. Ajay Krishna, good evening. Sairam, I am doing good, Kana. Lakshmi Bell, good evening. Chidambaram, welcome. Bhavya, good evening. Jay Prakash, welcome. Soundarrajan. Sri Kumar, good evening. Indra, good evening. Yeah. Jeevan Kumar, good evening. Sankita, yes, good evening, ma. Deepak, welcome. Okay, we'll start. I'd like to introduce All India rank holder, All India second rank holder, Lakshmanan. Welcome, Lakshmanan. Lakshmanan from, yeah, he's from Coimbatore. After finishing his BE mechanical, he's worked under Infosys as a software engineer. For the 2.5 years, he's worked in Infosys.
Yes, sir.
Thereafter, he has joined the CA course and he secured All India second rank in CA Intermediate. He has presented many papers as a paper presenter for SICASA program in ICAI. Various conference he has presented the paper. And more interestingly, he is a storyteller also. Superbly, he tells a lot of stories. We used to enjoy in our class also. Daily, his duty after lunch break, he has to tell one story. So this is what the target given to our Lakshmanan. Welcome, Lakshmanan.
Welcome.
Your topic is also unique, like the books and all we used to see in the mall, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is your topic? What I did,
what you can do.
The topic is yes. Hand out to Lakshmanan. Enjoy the program. Welcome, Panna.
Thank you, sir. காணொளியை பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கும் அனைவருக்கும் எனது முதல் இனிய மாலை வணக்கங்கள். A very good evening to one and all who is watching this video. In this webinar, we will be seeing about 5 topics. 1, a story. 2, a little concept. 3 and 4 are preparation strategies. 5, mind tool. In this particular last part, I will also throw a question. So hence, you may need a calculator for that purpose. If at all you don't have a calculator nearby, kindly take one and keep it nearby. We'll see that question in the end. So with that crux introduction of what we are about to see in this video, let me tell you all how I came into this CA journey. As sir said, I finished 6 years back. I completed my BE Mechanical Engineering in Coimbatore. Then I was placed in Infosys as a software engineer. I worked with them for 2.5 years. Then at the end of 2016, I had quit the job and I came to CA. Registered with ICAI, waiting for SRO, then it came, then ITT, then orientation. So there was quite some time before I joined my articleship. At this time, guys, I found it very difficult to even step out of my home. You all know why? It's because of the traditional question that our society poses. Kana, what are you doing? What will I tell them? That I'm jobless right now. I told them I have registered for CA. I'm studying for CA. The moment I say that itself, they start looking like top to bottom. Oh, CA. Okay. When I also additionally tell them that I have been working in a software company and I quit my job and come now, they're like, the look that they give conveys me like that is one of the foolish decision you could have ever taken. So I found it very difficult to handle people outside. I was very anxious. I became very anxious and too many uncertainties in life, too many unwanted thoughts like how will my life go on? Altogether from a different genre, I jumped into a different genre. So too many stress and other stuffs at that point of life. At that particular time, I read a story that motivated me so much at that time. Not only at that time, but even till today, this particular story motivates me a lot. So I thought I'll share that story with you all. There happened to be two neighbors, not human beings, animals. One elephant, one dog. The female elephant and the female dog got pregnant at the same time in their own houses. After 4 months, the dog gave birth to four puppies. The first production batch has been over, but the elephant is still pregnant, work in progress. After another 4 months, the dog went for another batch production, another four more puppies. The elephant was still work in progress. After another 4 months, the dog gave birth to another four puppies. Oh my God. After again at 4 months, the elephant was still work in progress. Now at the end of the year, the dog had 12 puppies. The elephant had only work in progress. After 1 year, they both are meeting near the compound wall. And like our people used to talk right near the compound walls, now these people are also talking. The dog is asking the elephant, hey elephant, you know what? For the past year, I had been pregnant 3 times and I gave birth to 12 puppies, whereas you also got pregnant at that time, but you're still pregnant. Don't you think it's high time you consult a doctor because there may be a problem? The elephant replied, dear dog, my dear friend, thank you so much for the concern you have for me. But you know what? The puppy that comes out of your belly, when it falls down in the ground, the impact that it creates doesn't even move the dust in the nearby room. But when the kid that comes out of my belly and falls down on the ground, there will be vibration for next zero point 0.5 kilometers around. Hence, for such a powerful kid to come outside, it takes substantial amount of time to grow. And hence, I am still in work in progress because I know my kid is going to be a powerful kid when it comes outside. And I'm also sure that in another 4 months, I'll give a smooth delivery and my powerful kid will come outside. Anyway, thank you so much for your concern. I have works in my home. Bye. Take care. The elephant left. The dog also left. Now, what did this story teach me at that time? CA is one such course. It takes substantial amount of time, but when it comes out, it's like that powerful elephant. Yeah, the designation, the CA, Chartered Accountant, those letters. It's worth the effort and it's worth the time. So always big things takes time. It's inevitable. That's the general rule in the world. And hence, at that point of time, when I was anxious, when I was depressed, I understood, okay, next 3 or 4 years until this course is going to get over, this is how life will be. But if I sustain in it, the output when it comes outside, it will be like that elephant when it is dropping on the floor. There will be vibrations around. But after this, I started thinking, is only substantial time giving is enough? Is there any other recipe that is required? That was the time I remembered a concept when I read in a book. And that book is nothing but The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. In this particular book, the author has mentioned a concept called circle of concern versus circle of influence. Yeah, the bigger circle is concern, the smaller circle is influence. The picture looks somewhat like this. This is an example picture I took from the internet. Please ignore the wordings inside. So the bigger circle that you see here is concern. The smaller circle you see inside is the influence. Now, how does this concept work? Every one of us have concerns about various things. How will our life go? How will we get a job? Right now, the corona times, will exam happen or not? Like that, so many concerns are there. Financial, why is my friend not texting me? Why am I not getting a tasty recipe? So many examples are there. Every one of us have so many concerns in this world. The author says, out of all the concerns that we have, there will always be at least one concern at a given time in which we can influence, in which we can directly control, which we can directly control. So that particular concern falls under the circle of influence. That's why in an initial stage, generally the circle of influence is smaller, because as a student or as a startup, as an entrepreneur, we'll have only few things that are under our control. Only when we keep working on the circle of influence, the circle becomes bigger and bigger like this. The circle becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And one point of time, the circle of influence will almost be equal to the circle of concern. At that particular time, we'll be the most powerful person. Say we have any concern running in the mind, we will be able to directly influence it. But all that happens only if we start concentrating on the influence we have in hand right now. Now let's apply this concept to all of us as a student. As a student, we all have one concern in common: clearing the examination. And for that particular concern, what is the direct influence we can make towards it? We can sit, study, and prepare for the exam. So, right now, in our prime circle of influence, the major factor that we have is studying. So, if we start concentrating on that studying, eventually the circle will get bigger. I mean, once we get CA, the circle has got bigger. Once we started practicing or we got into a job, the circle becomes even bigger. But at every given moment, we'll have to keep acting only on the circle of influence. That's the point. Now, what are we supposed to act upon right away for preparation purpose? For people who are gonna write in this July attempt, you all are in the last phase of your preparation time. So in this particular phase, the best part to do would be to start revising what we have already learned. Let's say, assume in all the subjects you had already covered 70 to 75 percentage. Now it's wise to keep revising that 70 to 75 percentage rather than trying to complete the rest 25, because there are three important factors for examination in my opinion. Okay, out of that, the revision falls under the second part. Now, why is revision important? Because if we complete all the 100% syllabus also, when we are faced with the question, if you are not able to recollect what we have learned, then what is the use of completing 100%? So in order to remember, we'll have to keep revising it again and again. The more we revise, the more remembrance will happen. And hence, whatever we have already covered, let's make that thorough. After that, if you have some time, consider that to be an abnormal gain. Okay. So whatever new you study in that time, it's like an abnormal gain. It's like extra marks. So let us start revising in order to improve that remembering part. Now comes the third important part for an examination purpose. Second is revision. Third, although we had studied by understanding the concept, which is the first part, although we had revised, that is the second part, in examination point of view, if we are not able to convey in the paper what we are thinking, then what is the use of doing the first both parts, right? So whatever we think has to flow in the paper. Any person who's reading it should understand what exactly we are trying to say. Now, in order to bring this in a shape, we have a simple mechanism, and that is nothing but, I hope some of you would have guessed it right. It's mock test papers. Yes, the full portion test papers. Now, full portion test, writing full portion test is so important. My dear student friends, please make sure that before going to exam, you're at least writing 1 to 2 full portion tests in all the subjects. Before telling you all what are the usefulness of writing that, let me tell you an analogy. Now, the exam that we are writing, right, it's like a drama. Assume it's like a drama. When I say drama, it's the theater, the live stage performance that they do for 1.5 hours, right? The theater, that one. Now, let's say you all, including me and sir, now we are all going to a particular drama show. And when we are seeing the artist perform live, let us assume two scenarios. One, case one, the artists haven't done rehearsals at all because of many other reasons. They have directly come to the stage thinking that they will be able to perform. What do you think will happen? It will be totally bloopers. The Airtel Super Singer bloopers that they'll put in the end of the show, right? That will be the entire show in that 1.5 hours. Second case, there are, let's assume those artists have completely rehearsed for n number of times and then coming for performance. Now, how do you think the 1.5 hour show will be? We will actually be traveling with them, right? We'll be living the show. Why? Because of all the rehearsals they had done earlier. So, similar to a drama is the examination. If we are not going to rehearse all the requirement parts beforehand itself, the main exam will become the bloopers. So, that's how important the full portion test is. Now, why are we supposed to write the full portion test? In order to check how much mark are we going to get? Need not necessarily be, because sometimes we may get high marks in that mock test, whereas we may not get the same in examination. Sometimes we may even get low marks in mock test, but whereas it might not be the case in the real-time examination. It can vary. So what exactly is the purpose? One, to understand if we can finish off the paper within the given 3 hours, time management. Two, if we can able to present the paper properly, legibly, handwriting, and all these stuffs. Importantly, highlighting the important points. Like as and when we write, our mind should keep telling, yes, this is the important point, underline. So all that should come by practice. Otherwise, at that given heat of the time, all this will not flow instantly. Third important point is, most of the times I've seen my friends telling this, even I have felt the same. When we read the question, we will know what exactly the point is, we'll know the answer, but when we are asked to write, the words will not flow. So for all these things to get practiced, mock test is important. And finally, the fourth most important point is, when we are studying individual chapters in a subject and then trying to answer that questions, we will know this kind of question belongs to this chapter only. But in an examination, when we revise all the chapters and go in a particular subject, we never knew where they will ask questions from, right? They will randomly pick questions from any chapter. So instantly we'll have to keep switching between that one chapter to the another. Are we able to do that? One time when we read that first question, we will have to start answering that. Immediately we will have to recollect the concept of the second question from different chapter. Immediately the third. So when all these things come together, at the moment, if you are going to practice without a rehearsal, we will be able to concentrate only on one thing. If we have to concentrate on all these things together, then we will have to practice a number of times before. So make sure at least you write 1 to 2 full portion tests for all the subject before appearing the examination. Also, please make sure you are correcting it, or you're giving it to a faculty or your friend or anyone, your senior, to correct. And please mark down all, take notes of all those mistakes that you have done separately. And before going to exam, make sure you read those mistakes alone at least without fail, because there is a high probability that generally when we get an answer correct the second time also, there is high probability we may get it correct. But answers that we have got wrong for the first time, if we don't revise, there are chances that we may get the same wrong answer again. So at least please make sure you're reading the corrections once again. So this is with respect to revising. This is with respect to writing the full portion test. Sorry. So revising, full portion test. But while doing all these, inevitably we get tired, right? Day in and day out when we are studying, while waking up early in the morning, it feels like Bahubali. But after some time, we feel so tired. So how to renew that energy? how to top up ourselves, I will suggest two tools. One, power nap. Two, meditation. When I say power nap, just it's a quick sleep for 10 to 20 minutes, not more than 20 minutes. Because when you sleep more than 20 minutes, after waking up, it feels a little headache or drowsiness. So, one, power nap. Two, meditation. Guys, daily, even if we do 5 minutes of meditation, it will give enormous results. Now, meditation, when I say meditation, it's nothing but just take your phone out, keep a timer for 5 minutes, let the timer run, sit straight, close your eyes, and we will open the eyes only when the timer rings. Until then, just close your eyes. Let the thoughts flow. It's okay. After 5 minutes, when the timer rings, open your eyes. That's all. If we can do this 5 minutes every single day, it will give enormous benefits. And many of you would be thinking, bro, how will 5 minutes a day gives that much effect? Now that's where when I read a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, I saw a graph in his book that changed my paradigm of how habits work. How not only habits, but everything in the world work. Let me show you that graph. Now this is how that graph looks. Seems somewhat similar like studied in our subject, right? Now, before going into this graph and going further, let me pose that question. Please have your calculators ready. Since we are all CA professionals, we'll speak little in terms of money and financial management with respect to this particular graph. Okay. So here goes the question. If I am going to deposit 1 rupee today in a bank and it will be compounded 1% every single day, at the end of 1 year, how much money will I have? I'll repeat the question again. If I'm going to deposit 1 rupee today and if it is going to get compounded 1% every single day, at the end of 1 year, how much will I have? Guys, you can take a lavish time of 15 seconds. After that, I'll tell you the answer. Hope you all would have worked out the future value equal to present value into 1 plus r by t to the power nt formula. So the answer is 37.78 rupees. The answer is 37.78 rupees. So that is how this is called power of compounding. And this power of compounding is a beautiful concept that's not only for money, but it works for any productivity stuff when done on day-to-day basis consistently. The keyword here is day-to-day basis consistently. Now let me show you the graph again. Now here, if you can see, this is where we have deposited 1 rupee. Now, as time progresses, it slowly increases. In 1 month, in 2 months, in 3 months, there wouldn't have been a significant raise. But as time progresses, all of a sudden, the curve starts improving this way. This is called the exponential effect. This is called the exponential effect. So at the end of 1 year, we'll be having 37.78 rupees. So that's how habits and be it anything. Let me tell you one more analogy also. Initially, when we have been preparing a topic, we'll take long time. But as we study it again, the time shortens. As we study it again, the time shortens, the quality increases. That's exactly this curve. And this doesn't stop with studying. This goes on with athletes, sportsmen, regular book readers, regular meditators. Anything done regularly works in this concept. I am not sure if any final student is viewing this video, but in SEMPE, there is a particular concept called learning curve, right? It's exactly the same stuff. So whatever actually we are studying in SFM and costing, if we can apply it to our life in terms of time management and the productivity stuff, life is really awesome. I generally try to do that with few concepts. It works great, but the one thing is it takes quite some amount of time to understand how it really works. So we'll have to be a little patient with that. So in order to summarize what I have spoken in this video, one, it is perfectly okay. One, it is perfectly okay to get that anxious feeling when the time is getting elongated. Just remember, we are that elephants, the powerful output creator that is getting created, work in progress. Two, in order for the elephant to be powerful, the time is also required, but as equal important is putting the right effort on the circle of influence, that is, as students, it is studying right now for us. Three, for examination purpose, revision is very, very important for remembering purpose. Four, the writing practice. Only then, whatever we have studied and remembered, we will be able to convey it properly and end the loop properly, loop of examination. Five, the mind tools. While doing all these, we tend to get tired, but in order to recoup ourselves, in order to renew ourselves, we can use two tools. One is power nap, one is meditation. But what will 5 minutes or 10 minutes of meditation per day do? Just always remember the power of compounding. Whatever we do small today doesn't even matter, but if you are going to do it consistently on day basis, 37.78 rupees. Also, I'll highlight one example. Michael Phelps, if you can read about how he practiced for swimming, it's the same concept. So every athlete, every sportsman, it matches with every people. So this is the strategy and few tools that had helped me during my IPCC preparation, that is helping me even now. I hope it will help me in my future too. I hope it will help you all, and you all will get benefited out of this. And all the very best to all the students who are appearing for the exam. I thank Hariharan sir so much for giving this opportunity. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, finish. Good, Gana. Good. Very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Story is also nice. So, good, good, good. For
Thank you,
students,
sir.
hope you enjoyed. And we wish you all the best for getting rank in final also, my dear. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. I wish
Good,
all the students who's watching this video also the same.
good, good, good. Good. Dear students, tomorrow, 4 o'clock to, yeah, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, how to approach the auditing standards by Vikas Oswal sir. 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock session is there. Standards on auditing. So kindly watch. Tomorrow evening, 4 o'clock, we can meet one more time. Okay. Thank you once again. Thank you very much for all viewers as well as our guest, Lakshmanan also.
Thank you,
God bless
sir.
you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.